Good morning. One of the most important things in kitchen cookery is a sharp knife. Now, it's true you'll always cut yourself more with a dull knife than a sharp knife. Now, if you go to a yard sale, garage sale, flea market, you can pick up these little stones for $1, and they're very inexpensive, and they'll help you tremendously. When you cook and you want precise measurements or precise sizes of meats, a sharp knife is your best friend. And it only takes a second to sharpen them up. I mean, keep these bad boys sharp, and you will always have a easy chore ahead of you. This morning we're going to cook some kielbasa. Now, there's nothing tastier in the morning than a nice piece of crispy kielbasa, good quality kielbasa done in a cast iron pan. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to slice up this little bad boy nice and neat and get it prepared for the frying pan. And I'll show you a little trick that I've used over the years to make it nice and crisp. In case you have any fat in your kielbasa, this cast iron process will take the fat right out of it. So first let's cut that bad boy in 3 squares, and now I'm going to throw it in the frying pan. And here's a trick I use. I take a bigger cast iron pan and I put it right on top of my meat. Okay, that is going to press that right down into the cast iron, and that will give you there's a lot of flavor with anything that's crisp, whether it's bacon, sausage, and there's nothing that will crisp up a piece of Wiener Schnitzel, Italian sausage, or ever like a nice piece of hot cast iron. And prior to putting my meat in there, I gave it just a little glaze of olive oil. Now, you don't have to use olive oil. You could really use canola oil, anything you want to. I happen to like olive oil. And if you're going to use it just to grease your pans, you could go to the food market and you can get yourself a lesser grade of olive oil that do the same thing for you. Let's just give this a few minutes. As you can see, if you focus in on that frying pan, you'll see I've got the big frying pan on the bottom and the smaller one inside, putting weight on that meat at all times. So let's just give that a minute. We'll flip it over, and then I'll show you how the crispness goes right into that piece of meat. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to flip this piece of kielbasa, and I'm going to show you how the meat actually crisps up and really is a tremendous flavor to whatever it is, whatever sausage, bacon, piece of ham, whatever it is you're cooking. So first of all, pop this bad boy right off now. My cameraman will zoom in. Look at that. If we weren't on camera, I'd eat that right now. But look at that crispness. Look at that, nice and crisp. There's tons of flavor in there, and if you notice, all the fat is done. So now we'll stick these bad boys right back there. Once again, I'll put that right on top. You hear that crisping up? And I'll tell you, there's nothing tastier. I don't care, ham, bacon, sausage, Wiener Schnitzel, any type of breakfast meat you can think of, scrapple, whatever you got, crisp it up with a piece of cast iron, and you will absolutely see that there's a doubling in the fine flavors that you look for in your breakfast food. Okay, these bad boys are done. They're absolutely beautiful looking if you look at those. I personally happen to like a little bit of char in my food, and so I tend to maybe overcook these things a little bit. But I'll tell you, the flavor's there. And I'm going to show you a little trick here with cast iron. Now, some of you are going to look at that and say, oh my God, I'm going to have to scour that off there. That's a problem. But what I do simply is to show you that it's not a big deal. Turn your burner up to high. Get it red hot. And all you've got to do is take a little bit of cold water. And let's see here, got a little piece of Tupperware. Take some ice cold water. And if you'll watch, if my cameraman will get a close-up of this, you can see that this stuff is all caked on there. Like I say, a lot of you people watching this are thinking, oh my God, that's a big job, and it's really not. Now watch this. Cold water, there you go. 1, 2, 3, it's gone. I take my spatula, rub my spatula around a few times. Now, I'll take this, and just so I can do the second half of this show without a burned hand. Now I'll take this over to the sink. A little sponge with just a very, very light rubbing. Look at that. Clean, brand spanking clean. What I always do before I put these things away, I just give it a quick whisk with a pan, and then I have a olive oil soaked napkin. Give it a quick coat, and look at that. That's all there is to the cleanup. So I would just tell you, all you people that think cast iron is some archaic metal, it's a great metal. It will give you the best flavor in the world for cooking, and I can give that to my great-grandchildren. So give me another minute, and then I'll show you how we make my famous latke. I just want you to know it's taken me about 8 years to get my latke where it's right, and there's a couple steps to it. If you follow them, you'll never have a problem. A latke has to be crispy, it has to have flavor, and above all, it can't be greasy. There's nothing worse than a heavy potato pancake, potato latke sitting in your stomach after breakfast. Give me a minute, and then we'll go to the next step.